everybody, Jesse Fresco here at Painted Visions Comics, here with my top 3 picks for the week. I've got a couple that have wrapped up recently, and so the first one I'm going to start with is the Punisher storyline, written by Mark Rosenberg, I believe is his name. This is a story that just wrapped up. Basically, Frank Castle is charged by Nick Fury to take down a political despot in a European country, and in order to do it, he hijacks the War Machine armor to basically wage war against an entire military in a foreign nation. It's definitely some of the most fun Punisher stuff I've seen in a while. The stuff that came before this, Becky Cloonan, was just kind of okay. Started out good, but eventually fell off, and she didn't really know what to do with the story. Before that was Nathan Edmondson. That was very heavy-handed. I didn't particularly care for it. This is more a combination of the Rick Remender stuff as well as the sort of the twisted dark humor of Garth Ennis's run. It's a little bit more fun and over the top. I don't really like the second half of the story too much, but the first half is much better. The second half tries to bring him back to New York City and tries to involve him with more of the superhero community. I never really felt that Frank Castle works well with the Punisher, with the Punisher fighting against superheroes, because it's always like, why is he surviving every single time? He's just a guy. So it never really worked for me, but the second half is good enough. It has wrapped up. There is going to be a new relaunch of this series eventually, so definitely check this out. It's only about 10 or so issues, so you can pretty much, blow through this pretty quickly. Next up, we have the new Garth Ennis book, A Walk Through Hell. This is definitely one of the weirdest things I've seen in a while, and it's definitely just as twisted as you'd expect from Garth Ennis. What has happened is that it's essentially a crime book set in New York City, and what's happened is that there have been a series of murders, or not in New York City, in Los Angeles. There's been a series of murders going on around the town, and what's happened is that these people just keep randomly popping up dead, and they think it's the same guy that's doing it. And so these 2 police officers go into this warehouse to try to find this particular individual, and it seems that there's something very twisted going on in there. They get knocked out, they wake up in the second issue, and then they wake up, they don't have a pulse or a heartbeat, but they're somehow alive. There's something very supernatural going on, there's something very twisted and horrifying going on. There's a sequence where a guy is actually continuously shooting himself in the head with a handgun, but he still won't die. It's very dark, very violent, very creepy, but it's definitely one of the best things that Ennis has written in a while. It's also got some very good artwork by Goran Sudzuka. I can't pronounce his name, but it is a fantastic artwork style that works very well to complement the story. If you get a chance, go through it. It's only got 3 issues in right now. Definitely one of the best things that he's written in a while. And the last one, this is my definite favorite book going on right now from Image, The Ice Cream Man. This is very, very twisted and very weird. If you've ever read Stephen King's Needful Things, this is the exact same story. So essentially, what's happened is there's this very small town where people are kind of down and out, and there's various people. Each issue is kind of a one-shot. Each storyline involves a various group of people or just an individual that is in need of something that really will make their lives better. And of course, the neighborhood ice cream man shows up. Everyone loves the ice cream man, but there's a supernatural twist to it. He'll give you what you want, but at a price. There's always a catch. In every single storyline, there's always a catch. There's a single thing that every character wants, but they're going to have to pay for it really bad later on. The artwork by Martin Morazzo. He worked on a book called Great Pacific with Joe Harris a couple years ago. Perfectly complements the style. It looks kind of childish and like a kid's book from the outside, but then you get to certain pages and just the darkness creeps in. It's almost exactly like Stephen King's Needful Things. It's a fantastic story. It's a great book. It looks great. Perfect writing. It's one of the best sellers right now at Image. I definitely recommend this book. Those are my 3 picks for the week: The Punisher, A Walk Through Hell, and The Ice Cream Man.
Rolling.
Sound speed. Action.